They say he stirs his coffee with chopsticks using a thing called the vortex method that optimizes the taste of his coffee at the molecular level. And they're right. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. But first, coffee. Nice. I'm on a good streak with coffee now. Coffee is going good. The day starts out well. Good cup of coffee. It's quiet. It's dark. I'm up before the world, 3:13 a.m. this morning. But I still got a lot of sleep because I went to bed early. Life is good. Anyone else remember the take cover drills that happened up until 1968 or 69? The bell would ring. All the students would go into the basement of the school or under your desks. You would crouch down on your knees and put your hands behind your neck and your head. You'd be there until the bell would ring, and then you would be allowed back up to your desk, or in single file line, they would walk you back up to your classroom. I grew up at the end of that era. What a weird time that was as a kid. But has there ever really been a completely peaceful, normal time? I know now is bizarro time, bizarro world, what we're living in now with the masks and the BS. It's all fake, 100% fake. Fake science. They want to give you this, roll up your sleeve. It's a weird time. Don't overreact. You'll be able to tell the story someday. Yeah, remember when we had to wear masks? They don't want you to take the masks off. This is not just a 2020 thing. This is a world reset event. Don't kid yourself. It's got nothing to do with the flu. Nothing to do with the flu. You just slip out the back, Jack, make a new plan stand. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just get yourself free. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Drop off the key, Lee, and get yourself free. Paul Simon, 1975. For you young people that don't know this, it's better to ask for forgiveness than beg for permission. If you're waiting for permission to do whatever in life, you're going to be waiting a long time because no one will ever give you permission. It needs to be checked and rechecked. Need to do the research and do feasibility studies. Just do it. The world will reward your action. The world does not reward inaction and studies and mulling it over and thinking. Yes, you have to take calculated risks. Yes, you have to count the cost before. You don't want to start a project and then run out of money or people or resources. You want to be smart when you undergo a project of some type, whatever that is, whether it be building a building, starting a new career, creating a business, entering into a relationship. Count the costs. But there is some risk involved. You're not going to remove all the risk. I remember one time, Geraldo Rivera had people, 8 or 9 people, in a semicircle who were all self-made millionaires. And he went with a microphone, and I'm talking years ago, we're talking 30 years ago. And he went from person to person and said, what is the biggest factor that people need to know before they start their own business? They all said risk. You have to take risk. That's what people need to know. There's no such thing as becoming successful in anything in life unless you take a risk. Are you risk averse, which means you won't take risks? Are you foolish? The foolish person jumps off a cliff and prays to God that they're going to grow wings on their way down to the ground. Or they pray to God to stop gravity. Maybe you shouldn't have jumped off the cliff. Does anyone here watch or listen to the X22 report? I forget who turned me on to that. It might have been 703. But thank you for turning me on to X22 Report. I find it cuts through all the nonsense, the political correctness, and it's giving me some news from an aerial view, not just in the midst of wearing masks and arrows in stores and plexiglass shield. It's not about that. Let's take a long view of what's happening in the world. X22 Report. When you listen to certain news sources and you develop a different mindset, perspective, and a way of viewing data as it's coming to you from the approved sources, once you break through all that, you start looking at what they're rolling out every day, all the nonsense that gets rolled out towards you. You start interpreting that different. You see the bigger plan. And you don't feel as helpless or hopeless. If there's a huge age difference between a man and a woman in dating and marriage, people are going to have opinions. They are going to have opinions. And most of those opinions are based upon their observations that they've had, and those opinions are valid. So the opinionated people are not broken, bruised, whatever term you want to use to describe them. But if you're dating someone and there is a huge age difference, expect people to have an opinion about it. It's just the way life is. People will, if it's a younger woman, people will look at that woman and say, gold digger, what does she have to do with that old man? People will look at the guy and say, well, obviously he just wants a young piece of. Some people will look at the woman and say she has daddy issues. That very well could be true. Some people will look at the man and say, well, of course, he has money. He can get whatever he wants. People are going to have opinions. That's the reality. Did you ever notice everybody is apolitical? When you put the word a in front of something, that means they're not it. So when I say the word apolitical, that's one word. That means someone is not political. There's people who claim that they are apolitical until you tell them that you voted for Trump. Then all of a sudden they're very political. The people who call themselves apolitical are the most strongly virtue signaling people that will flip on you like that. Trust nobody that calls themselves apolitical. That actually means they're hyper political. Men, you can be someone's second husband. Third husband, they got something going on there. Something's up with the third husband thing. You better look a little bit deeper. Think with this head here. As a general rule, never be somebody's third husband. And if you're going to do it at your own peril. Felt the tables turning, got me through my darkest hour. I heard the thunder clapping, felt the desert burning, until you poured on me like a sweet sun shower. So if you're tired of the same old story, turn some pages. REO Speedwagon, 1978. If you're tired of the same old story, turn some pages. You have the power within you to change the story. I will take those lyrics one step further. So if you're tired of the same old story, write a new story for yourself. There are going to be times in your life when you seem to be a lightning rod. At work, in your family, in the community, online. Stop. Relax. Don't react. Respond. The storm will pass. Do not complicate issues by overreacting, overcorrecting. Or being impulsive. You'll be fine. Let it pass. This fall, I will be speaking at the 21 Convention Patriarch Edition, and also the 22 Convention for Women, Make Women Great Again, which of course in and of itself is a triggering phrase. And that's done on purpose. But it's also a call to action for women. And it's a call to action for men. We men are making ourselves great. No more mediocrity, no more being pushed around, no more being taken advantage of. Amping up the masculinity without being macho, claiming your God-given rights as a man. I'll be speaking at that summit this fall. I'll be putting links for it in the future, and I will be interviewing all the other speakers that I will be sharing the stage with over that weekend. I just found out that 2 people are going to be added to the speaking list. First one is Coach EO, also known as Champion Coach Everett Overton. Check him out. Great YouTube channel. A fine young man. Let me put it this way. He's going to teach you about women, about life. He's a younger man. He has a lot of great advice when it comes to women. And I don't want to say pick-up advice, but how to conduct yourself. My brothers and I, we just say, it's just being a man. And the fact that it has to be taught just leaves me scratching my head. But when I hear someone like Coach EO talk about it, it makes sense. The second person that was just added to the lineup was AMS, Alpha Male Strategies. You might have watched him on YouTube as well. An interesting fellow with a lot to say. It's going to change the flavor of the stage that weekend to have these 2 gentlemen in front of the audience. It's going to be quite incredible. And of course, I will be interviewing them in my studio. What I want to do is to be able to have a conversation with both of them actually here via Skype and record that conversation and give you a taste of what they're all about, the wisdom that you can get from them. The takeaway from today's show is this, is that there are times when you will be a lightning rod. In other words, you're going to be attracting a lot of negative attention, whether it be at work or in a relationship at home or wherever you are. It's going to seem like the crap is flying at you from every direction. Do not overreact. Do not overreact. Don't dig yourself in deeper. You can make things worse. Many times, if you just hunker down, keep your mouth shut, the storm will pass and everything will be fine. You do realize that you can make it worse for yourself. Don't make it worse for yourself. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. This is pure silver right here. It's beautiful. It feels good. Pure silver. It feels like money. This is gold. Heavy. It feels good in the hand. This is a $50 piece. But you know what this is worth? $1,800. Gold. The real money. It's never not been money. It will always be money. All over the world, it's recognized as money, value. Man, it feels good. JM Bullion is an online precious metals dealer offering physical gold and silver bullion that is delivered directly to your door. Established in 2011, JM Bullion has shipped over 2 million orders and done over $3 billion in sales. Featuring a wide product selection, market-leading and straightforward pricing, top-notch customer service, and I can tell you, it is top-notch, and free shipping on orders of $99 and up, JM Bullion should be your go-to precious metals dealer.